Hey guys and gals and non-binary pals, I'm Zannah.
I'm Jason.
And this is Nerd Initiation, where Jason kind of holds my hand in this journey of nerddom. And welcome back, Jason, because we missed you last week.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it feels good to be back. Had a nice weekend off, got to visit some family, saw my high school buddies too. So it was a busy weekend, but it was nice, to get away and just do something fun.
I like how we were both hanging out with your high school buddies.
Oh, I know. Like I was with two buddies, Ben and Aaron. Shout out
Yeah.
if you're listening. You were with Gizmo. Gizmo, I want to say you did an awesome job. Thanks for filling in.
Thank you so
And
much.
very, very informative. You guys touched upon some fun topics. I don't know a lot about the anime, but you two were very knowledgeable, it seemed like. And plus, you had some good conversations. You were talking about famous people you met and stuff like that, and that's always fun.
It is. It's that's always hilarious.
I
But
never
yeah,
heard his Stan Lee story.
No?
Yeah, where he was like bowing to him.
I know that. I laughed.
Oh, that was good.
What do we call him? Comic book royalty?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
He was.
Yes, he was. I agree. I think we all are in agreement. 100%.
Oh, sure.
Oh, shizzle?
Shizzle. Yes.
All right, cool. Well, today, Jason, since you're back, let's talk about a very, very special topic that is close to our hearts. And that is Star Wars. We love Star Wars.
Speaking of, let me reach over and get something here in my nerd cave. This is from the 80s, a VHS copy of the first one, now known as Episode 4, A New Hope. This was Star Wars.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, we are both big Star Wars fans, and what I remember about that was 2 years ago when the trailer dropped for The Last Skywalker. Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
I have it on Blu-ray.
Very nice.
It's got all the stupid digital remastered shit, but
yeah, I'm not a fan of all those changes. Yeah, I can't get into the changes. The only one that I kind of moderately liked was when they did the special edition in the 90s, when they re-released the original trilogy to the theaters, and they added Jabba in Episode 4. I thought that was kind of cool.
They did. So yeah, when Han and him were walking to the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, that was cool. And then it showed like some of Jabba's minions, and you'd see a brief glimpse of Boba Fett. That was awesome.
That was awesome. And isn't that when they decided that Guido shot first instead of Han? Because in the original one, Han shot first because he's a badass.
Hold that thought. I'm going to grab another piece of Star Wars memorabilia, which will fill. Now, what I have to show you is this is the first version of the original trilogy I owned. Came in this really sweet box set.
That's
Star
pretty.
Wars Trilogy THX widescreen edition. Here, I'll open up the box. I will unbox it for all the kids at home. This is what it looked like.
Wow. So for anybody that's listening, what Jaden is showing is he has a special edition of the DVDs. Is that what I'm looking at?
VHS.
Oh, the special edition of VHS, excuse me.
Here's
and
the
it comes
back
in
of
a big black box. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
So what so this shiny. Is, yeah, I mean, this is 25 years old at least. And what it is they did this special release of it in 95, I want to say. And that was where we first saw Greedo shoot first. It was a little tweak they made to this.
Oh, okay.
And it was the first version of the movie I'd seen in full. So it was kind of like all I knew. But I remember it being controversial even back then. Like that the way that happened.
That's true. I mean, I kind of like the original just because, you know, it's kind of badass, but I can kind of see where they're thinking that, oh, if he shoots first, does that mean Han is more like the villain, or, you know, that kind of
He's too
discrepancy.
aggressive or
If too
whatever.
aggressive, right? Whereas
Yeah.
if he doesn't shoot first, if Guido shoots first, then it's just self defense, and he's not quite so much of an outcast or whatever.
I always saw it as just a preemptive self-defense thing. He's
Yeah,
like, well, it's like when you're in a duel or you have a showdown at the corral in
I
the
was gonna say you're a
Western.
gunslinger.
It's like one of you is going to get shot. I mean, you want to be the one who doesn't get shot, so sometimes you draw first. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. You're at like the old American hotel saloon at
Yeah, so I got that box set I just described and showed people. Um, that was in 10th grade, I want to say. It was for Christmas.
Ooh, that's a
And
good
I
Christmas
want
present.
oh, I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
And I remember watching them, and what each video had, which was another special feature, was each one began with an interview of George Lucas by film critic Leonard Maltin. About a
Oh.
5-minute interview, nothing too extensive, but he would just ask questions about the making of each film and stuff like that. And it was
Mhm.
pretty informative because back in those like pre-internet days, there weren't a lot of places to get information about stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. And yeah, from there, I don't know, are we just gonna like dive into our histories with Star Wars, or
I would dive into our histories. We can talk about our favorite movies, our favorite characters, what makes
yeah.
us love it so much.
So my earliest memories of Star Wars, I was born in 1979. I remember the toys.
Mhm.
Because I didn't see the movies when I was little. The only one, well, Empire came out. Empire came out in 1980, and I was like, 6 months old, so I wasn't going to see that. So Jedi came out in '83, so I probably would have been old enough to go to that, but I don't think I did. Um, but yeah, I remember the toys. I never had any, but I remember I had friends who had them. Um, my friend Benji comes to mind. I remember looking under his bed when I was like 3 or 4, and he had a Yoda figure like underneath
Nice.
his bed. And I
Weird, but
remember
yes.
putting like the blanket back down or the dust ruffle or whatever it was, and being like, I'm just gonna leave that there because Yoda kind of scared me back then.
Mm.
Um, I think he had the Jedi playset, the Ewok playset, where they you could
I
pretend to
love
like be the
Ewoks.
Ewoks in their little houses and stuff.
On Endor.
And they had like a spick or whatever you call that, where like Han was being roasted on it on a spit. Like there was a little toy spit you could rotate like your Han
Have like
Solo
toy
action
fire.
figure. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Um,
my god.
but the first time I remember seeing any part of a movie, it was again at my friend Benji's house. He must have been a fan. He was a year older than I was. He was my dad's friend from college. It was his son, and I think they had some kind of premium cable channel, probably HBO. And I remember seeing Empire, and I can just remember, even at an early age, like 4 or 5, like noticing how dark that movie was, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of grim, dark kind of a feeling. The one part that I still distinctly remember seeing because it was kind of like almost traumatic to me was like where C3PO, spoilers,
Oh my
where he
god.
gets hit by that blast and he gets blown apart.
Yeah.
And then like Chewbacca finds him and he's all like, "Arr, arr," like he's all freaking out. I
He
remember
carries
being
him.
kind of like weirded out by that.
Really?
And he carries them on his back. Yeah.
Yeah, in like a little backpack in pieces.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Cause it's like here was this guy and now he's in pieces, but he's still moving. Like it was unnerving to me at that age, I guess.
Oh, see, I was never bothered by any of that. Like, because I think for me, like, I grew up on like a lot of fantasy movies. I love fantasy. So, like, to me, stuff like that never bothered me. I grew
Yeah.
up, Star Wars was already established by the time that I was born. Um, So
yeah, it'd been 6 years since the last movie.
My father loved Star Wars. He's the one that got me into it. He loved Star Wars. My mother is a Star Trek fan, but I've never seen Star Trek. She's a Trekkie, and I've never seen it. I always went with the wars. It's all about the wars. Quote from fanboys. But
right.
yeah, I love. I would always rather watch Star Wars than anything else, which I'm sure my mother just loved. But my father was stoked because he'd be like, "Yeah, now I can watch Star Wars all the time because my kid loves it." So,
That worked out.
It worked out. And then,
oh, you probably might have watched one of these. This was the second
yes.
issuance of it on VHS before that box set I
Yeah,
got.
that's the
For our
exact box set
listeners,
my dad had.
I'm showing a Star Wars VHS tape that was released, I think, in 1990. They re-released it, so it looked like this one.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Empire and Jedi too.
He had all of that. He had all three on VHS.
Hold 1 second. I don't have the Empire of this edition, but I do have the Jedi. I know, right? Well, those are harder to find. But that Star Wars I held up earlier, the original issuance on VHS, I do have the Empire and Jedi of that as well.
Yeah.
So basically, I have 2 2/3 trilogies, all on VHS.
Perfect.
No DVD, no Blu-ray with all the weird crap added. Yeah. Although it is nice to watch those, you know, because we watched Star Wars and Empire together a couple years ago, and
we did.
I mean, the film quality was good, like the picture quality. I did enjoy that.
This is the one that we watched.
I noticed every little thing that they added. I was like, "What's that? I don't remember that. What?"
Did it take you out of the movie? Like it just like, oh.
Just slightly, yeah.
I could see that. But when I first saw the DVDs, because I grew up on the VHSs that didn't have any of that. So when I first got the DVDs and it had all that crap, I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. But now that I watched the DVDs multiple times now, I'm like, whatever, I'm over it. And I just get into it.
Well, you're used to it.
I'm used to it now. But I also grew up right across the street from Disneyland. And ever since I was younger, they've had like a Star Wars themed store and things like that in the Disneyland's Tomorrowland. So you can because of Star Tours. So they've had Star Tours for a while, and because of Star Tours, so like that was my favorite growing up with Star Tours. I'd go in there, and my parents would always get sick because they hate the movement, but I loved it. And then you go out, and then you can make your own lightsaber, which I've had several of those. I have my really nice lightsaber, but it's down in the car. Thank you. My little Fiat can make the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
I'm very impressed.
Me and Han, me and Han.
So, I mean, it does sound like you were from birth indoctrinated into Star Wars lore, which I think is great.
Yeah. No,
do you remember when they re-released them in the 90s? Like into the theaters?
Kind of, not really, because I was still pretty young. So I don't think my father.
I think that would have been 96, 97-ish.
I was 6 or 7-ish.
Yeah.
I'm now 31, so my memory isn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of remember it. I remember, like, I know that it happened, and people have talked about it since then, so I understand that it has happened. Now, do I have my own memory of it? Not particularly. I'm sure my father does. I'm sure my father went, but I don't know if I.
And he didn't bring you?
I have no idea. He could have. Just because I don't remember it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Well, that's true. That's like I went to see E.T. in the theater, but I have no recollection of this. Mm-hmm. But my mom said I was scared of E.T.
You just don't like aliens, I guess, huh? E.T., Yoda, not your favorite.
Back then, yeah. Oh, and I was also afraid of gremlins.
Oh, Gizmo and I was talking about gremlins because we love Gizmo. They're so cute.
Well, I like Gizmo, but like all those bad gremlins were scary. What I remember is like my grandparents from Florida came to visit, like around the time that came out, and Gremlins was just the biggest thing at the time. They bought me Gremlins action figures, including of the scary ones.
Oh
And I
no.
remember being so afraid of them, I threw them behind our washer and dryer in the basement.
It's a good place for them. However,
Yeah.
what if they get wet at night?
I see. I didn't think about that. Bad idea.
Bad idea. What are you doing? You're gonna destroy the whole neighborhood.
Well, at least I like aliens now,
Yes, at least you like aliens
including
now.
Alf.
Oh my gosh. You and Alf, man. I'll show a picture here of you and Alf. I have one.
We're old friends.
Yeah, you and Alfred, you're like this. But I have a picture. I was so happy. It was me at Disneyland. And this is back in like high school, I think. It's just me trying to be like super badass with a lightsaber. And you can see Disneyland in the background. What is that?
Listeners, I'm showing another Star Wars trilogy. This is the special edition that came out in the theaters in the 90s.
Oh.
This is where they first inserted Jabba into episode 4.
Jabba.
Was this edition. Oh, and it's also where they changed the song at the end of Jedi and showed additional like scenes of like people celebrating the fall of the Empire or whatever.
Yeah.
I still like the original song Celebrate the Love better than what they played on this. Dun 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 dun. That's how the melody goes. It's so fun.
Just like that. Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. And then it shows like Chewbacca dancing with Lando.
It's the old ones that are cute, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So your history with Star Wars, I guess at this point, you would have been 9 going on 10 when episode 1 came out, The Phantom Menace.
It came out in what, 2000, 2009?
99.
Oh, 99. Yeah. I was 9 or 10 when it came out. But I do remember going to the theaters and seeing all of those movies.
And how were those experiences for you?
I was actually pretty excited that they were coming out with more Star Wars movies. I was fine with it. I mean, were they exceptional? No. Were they Star Wars? Yes. Thus, I love them. Except, Misa no like all Star Wars characters.
So bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jar
embarrassing.
Jar probably is not my favorite character.
Yeah, he's bad. Yeah.
Or all of the, what are they, Gundam? No, I forgot what his people are called.
Yeah.
They live in like the seas of Naboo. I like Naboo. I like the planet, but I don't particularly like the Gungor.
Jar Jarians.
The Jar Jarians. Oh gosh. They're not my favorite. They're a little weird, but that's okay. There are other things that I really like about those movies. Like, for example, I loved Liam Neeson. I loved Qui-Gon Jinn. He is probably my favorite Jedi was Qui-Gon Jinn because he is a true gray Jedi. And I think the lore of Star Wars is so intricate, and I love that. Like with the light and the dark, and do believe that if I were to have been living in the Star Wars world or universe, that I would definitely be a great Jedi.
A long time ago, far, far away.
That's right.
If you lived then.
If I lived a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I would be a gray Jedi.
I could see it.
Mm-hmm. I got my moments.
So in terms of my journey, the next thing I remember was in the mid 80s in elementary school, my friend Levi had a Return of the Jedi lunchbox.
Sweet.
And it was one of those metal ones. I remember it was a pretty sweet design because it had like the artwork for like the half finished Death Star and all that stuff.
Cool.
And then I remember Star Wars being on TV, like they aired it on one of the big networks, like it might have been ABC or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like a big event. Like that was like the movie of the week, they used to call it back then. I remember watching some of it, but not the whole thing. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't really see all three of the original trilogy in full until I was in high school, like 10th grade. And I got those additional interviews to like give some backstory and setup, which was really cool. So then not long after that, I think it was the next year, is when they did the re-releases. So I was really pumped for those because I was familiar with the movies already. And then it was like, yes, I get to see it on the big screen. That was the biggest part of the appeal, was the big cinematic experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then finding out they were adding in those little extra like details, additional scenes, I was like, this is amazing.
But I guess for me, there are pros and cons, because you got to experience it when you were older, so you can appreciate it. But I was brought up on it, so I experienced it as a child and grew up on it. So that was like ingrained in my DNA, that Star Wars, that the love for Star Wars, the love for the fandom, the love for just everything. And I was in like high school when I found out about like all of the novels, because I didn't know about the novels until later. And Darth Bane's apprentice, Darth Zannah, spelled the same way too. So I'm already a Star Wars character. And
I always knew that.
Yeah, I'm saying me. Darth Zannah used a double-sided lightsaber, and she is awesome.
So you got into the expanded universe a little bit.
I did a little bit, just because the cover art of that one book caught my attention. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I opened it up and I was reading a little bit, and then I saw my name pop up, and I was like, "The fuck is this shit?" And so I bought.
You're like, this is awesome.
I'm in a book, so I bought a copy of that, and I bought one for my cousin. I bought one for my dad. I'm just like, look, I'm in the book. Basically, that's how that happened.
That's so great.
Yeah. So I even like a little situation like that, that I find myself in, it really brings it to life. I'm really sucked into that universe because of all the things that you can like, just like experiences, like you can experience little cool moments like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always thought that was fun.
No, that's definitely cool. Like, I was thinking about after those special editions came out, then the next thing was the release of the prequels. That would have been exciting in the Star Wars universe.
Until you
and I remembered, I remember knowing they were coming for a while. In fact, those interviews George Lucas did with Leonard Maltin on that special edition that I had, he said, yes, in a few years we're going to be working on episodes, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, that's going to be awesome. So then summer of '99 rolls around, and it's freaking Star Wars Mania. Good. So me and my then girlfriend at the time, Dawn, who's the mother of my son, shout out to Dawn and Justin, we went and saw it, and I remember both her and I fell asleep at different points during the movie.
Oh no.
We weren't huge fans. That's not to say there weren't good parts and good characters. I love Liam Neeson too. He's amazing. I liked Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor was great in those.
Well, yeah, it's Ewan McGregor. He's great, period.
It just didn't really keep my attention for the most part. No, it was kind of dry at times, the way they're describing these trade embargoes and all this other stuff. And I remember kind of having
Metachlorians.
yeah, you know, I had that nerd moment, or I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what led to the Empire and blah blah blah. It's still kind of boring at times.
Yeah.
So when episode 2 came out in 2002, I just never even got around to seeing it.
Oh, see, I went to all the showings. 100%,
Yeah.
I went to them. And I liked them. There are some parts that you're like, uh,
Really?
that's a little bit cringy, but that's okay. I don't like the beach. The sand is coarse and it gets everywhere. Not like you're so smooth. Like,
You know, me and my high school buddies were talking about that last weekend. They were talking about episode 2 and they mentioned the sand part. Yeah.
oh my gosh. Yeah, the sand is so hilarious. I mean, because it's funny because it's cringy. Like it gets to the point where it's so cringy that it's like now hilarious. Like it's funny and it's a running joke for forever. You can say it all the time. For instance,
Yeah.
I just quoted it at work the other day because when I got to another new team at work, we had to introduce ourselves. So I was like, well, I'm Zannah. I'm this, I'm that. I've been with the company for 3 years.
2 years.
And I like long walks on the beach. Just kidding. I don't. I don't like the sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. And everybody thought I was serious. The only one who laughed was a fellow Star Wars fan. I think you
That's
know who that
awesome.
is. But
Yes.
so little things like I quote movies a lot, and Star Wars is the big one that I quote. I'm one of those annoying people.
It's not annoying. It's fun.
It's fun. I'm fun.
You are fun.
That's right. Huh.
So then, I missed episode 2, and then episode 3 came out in like 2005. I remember a lot of my friends were hyped about it. I lived in Ann Arbor back then, and they were all going to like the midnight showing. And I didn't get around to seeing that one either.
No, man.
I caught part of it on TV a while ago, the ending. It
Wait,
does seem pretty epic.
you still haven't seen it? Even
I
now?
never I never saw 2 and most of 3. Yeah. I was not happy with the first
Dude. Well,
episode
no.
1.
No, the first one isn't great. Although it's got pod racing and that's fun. I want to try pod racing. Anyway, but you can.
It
I mean,
is.
they're worth at least seeing so you know like the story.
Eh.
How about we have a movie night and we'll watch those.
Z, I
I
would
can
watch
keep you
those with
entertained.
you. Yeah.
I can keep you entertained while watching Star.
If you're my tour guide, I'll do it. And I know it's sounding like I'm not a big fan of Star Wars. To me, the prequels were mostly unnecessary. And they've done articles about this around the time Force Awakens came out, episode 7. They talked about the whole, what do they call that? The hatchet
Yeah.
method, where like you don't even need to see episode 1. You just watch 2 and 3 in between episodes 5 and 6, something like that.
No.
It goes episode 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. 2 and 3 are in between because it's seen as like a flashback to how he became Darkseid. Or I'm sorry, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. I knew what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I've never heard that theory.
That might be worth trying it that way. I would watch it that way if we have it within the greater context.
We're gonna need a whole weekend.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just tell my girlfriend, hey, I'm gonna be at Zannah's just watching Star Wars all
Katie
weekend.
will be fine with it. She'll be like, good.
She'll be like, yes.
Get
out of here.
Get out of.
I won't have to hear your old music.
You like your old, but yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's worth seeing them because the story is the plot, I think, is worth seeing because then you can know what's canon and not or not. And that's something that I think is at least worth seeing.
I agree with that. Although I keep hearing about things that contradict the original trilogy, like Obi-Wan didn't recognize the droids and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, things like that. But I mean, if you think about it, it's been a while. He's a recluse for a long time. Like, are you going to remember some robot?
he has space dementia.
He has space dementia. Yeah, what if he like blocked out those memories because they're like so hard? You don't know.
He might have.
He might have. Selective memory. I have that. I can't remember most of my childhood. There's huge gaps in my memory. It makes sense.
So then I guess the next thing, aside from the movies, there were various ancillary properties like TV shows. You mentioned the novels of the expanded universe. I read some Star Wars comics like here and there. Dark Horse Comics held the license for a very long time, probably almost 25 years. I read some of those. Marvel got the license back because basically Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars. So now Marvel, I think since 2015, they've been publishing their own Star Wars comics. And those have been pretty good too, from what I've read. They always take place in that sweet spot between episodes 4 and 5. That's where a lot of stories get filled in. I think the ones Marvel are currently doing now take place between 5 and 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I never
read the comic. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're worth it.
Tell you what, I'll read the comics if you watch them.
You got a deal. You got it, dude.
You got it, dude. Perfect. I like it. Yeah, and like the little specials I thought were funny. Wasn't there like a Christmas special where they helped find Chewbacca's wife or something like that?
Yeah, the Star Wars Christmas special with B. Arthur and other famous B-list celebrities.
Yeah, they like all go
and the
to
band
like
Jefferson
Kashyyyk.
Starship played.
They like all go to Kashyyyk to help Chewbacca find his family or something.
Yeah, because they call it Life Day instead of Christmas. It's called Life Day. I never saw it. I've only heard about it. I have the soundtrack on vinyl though, so I am familiar with it from that. And there were other specials. You did see it?
I saw it like online.
Okay.
Like I've seen it recently. I just got into it recently. Not got into it, but I've just seen it recently. Like I think
we should
like
watch
2
that
years ago.
Next Christmas.
Okay, that'd be like a fun Christmas tradition that we start.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like it. I like this a lot.
I was gonna say there were other specials. There were like 2 Ewoks TV movies in the mid '80s. Ewoks and Ewoks: The Battle for Endor. I never saw those either. But I know Wilford Brimley's in one of them.
Sweet.
I want to say, yeah. So it's already going to be quality. There was a Droids cartoon. I do remember that.
Well, there's one right now going on, quite recently. It's about the clone. Like I know, quite recently they had a cartoon out all about the Clone Wars, and it had Anakin, and Obi-Wan, and Anakin had a Padawan called what was her name? Ahsoka was his Padawan, and then she had to watch him, her mentor, her Jedi Master, fall into the dark side. I
didn't see that. Like I haven't seen any of the more recent animated ones, but I've heard good things about some of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that because I like Ahsoka. Thank you. Ahsoka. So Ahsoka's pretty cool. And that was Anakin's Padawan after he became a Jedi Master.
Yeah. I think in terms of our timeline where we're at now, I think we get all the way up to 2015. Episode 7 comes out, The Force Awakens. That was a big deal. I was really excited for it.
I was too. I was so excited. I went to a showing. I loved it. I liked him. I liked the first one.
I do too. A lot.
The second one was okay. I guess. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. It was the third one that like made me angry. The last one that came out, I walked out of the theater angry.
Is that when you went with your friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like looking at me like, well, what is wrong with this girl? Because I'm all like huffy, like.
I know you told me why, but refresh my memory and of course our viewers and listeners' memories. What made you so upset about The Last Skywalker, episode 9?
All right. The reason I was so mad was because none of the whole storyline was just unnecessary. Unnecessary. Why bring back fucking Emperor Palpatine? Why? There's no reason for it. Because he was already defeated by Darth Vader. If they're gonna bring him back, bring fucking Anakin back. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you're not gonna they didn't bring Anakin back at all. Like they brought him back as like he was like like Hayden Christensen, I guess, did like a teeny tiny little voice cameo or whatever, but
right.
No. Why? If you're gonna bring him back fully, at least bring like Anakin back as like a Force ghost that helps Rey or something. Like he is the one that defeated Palpatine in the as Darth Vader. He killed Palpatine. Well, I guess not really, but at that point, that's kind of like it kind of undid everything that happened at the end of the original trilogy. And I think that's unnecessary. And if Palpatine is like this gross old wrinkly thing like attached to a machine, how does he have like enough like manpower and force and funds or whatever? I don't know if they use funds. I know they do. To fucking build all of those fucking new, not Death Stars, but like the
Star Destroyers.
Star Destroyers. They have like a gazillion of them now.
I thought that too.
With like the planet destroying things are on each one. Like, why? How did you do that? There's absolutely no reason for that.
He had those weird followers, like the people in that like arena with the robes and shit, and it's like, weird. Were those real people or like ghosts? Or there were weird inconsistencies with that story.
And like there are some aspects of that movie that I thought were really cool. I loved the whole storyline of Rey and Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. I loved their whole storyline that they were like two halves of the same Jedi pie or whatever you want to say. But that they could share like their power and like move things through the Force to each other. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was a very neat thing that they did to kind of expand the Star Wars universe and Star Wars mythology and expand what we know about the Force. I thought that was very interesting, and that's something that I guess was very rare in the Star Wars mythology or the Jedi mythology, but it's not something that was it's new to us but not new to the mythology. But I always loved that aspect. I thought it was really cool that they could be a pair of like warriors like that.
Yeah.
They don't have to fucking be romantic. They were a cool pair of warriors that could fight together so fucking badass like. But then they go off and they have her kiss him and then he dies. The fuck is that shit? Mad.
Yeah, and there was weird stuff too with like Princess Leia dying. Like, was it her dying because she force projected herself to like talk to him at that one point where she's like, Ben?
I'm pretty sure she Princess Leia died because Carrie Fisher died. I don't think they wanted her to die.
Well, yeah, I know there's that reason, but like, what killed her character in the movie officially?
I don't know. I thought maybe, I don't know, heartbreak, because there's a lot of things that she just went through.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she lost her love. She lost her brother. She was thinking her son. Maybe she was like projecting her powers to get Han there and like protect her son, and that Who knows?
Oh, the whole Han thing too. Yeah, like was that all in his mind, or was that something that Leia created?
Yeah, that is those are theories coming, that people talk about. Like, what was it? Was it in his mind? Was it Leah? We just don't know. Um, I like I like the aspect of maybe Leah projecting that onto him, but again, she wouldn't know the actual conversation that they had. Only he would, only
Right,
Kylo Ren would.
that's true. The other weird part was like they make it look like Chewbacca dies, and I didn't think for a second he was dead.
No, I didn't think so either. I was like, I think that that's cool that they showed her power, that she was a descendant from Palpatine. I'm fine that she was a descendant from Palpatine. I'm fine with that. That's cool. She has like the fucking gnarly electricity. That's cool.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. But don't fucking bring back Palpatine and undo the original trilogy. Absolutely not. I get fired up about it.
But didn't they hint at that in the original trilogy that Palpatine had the power to transcend death or something like that? I feel like they went
I
back
think
and touched
so.
upon something. So it's like there's a little bit of a precedent for it, but I do get what you mean where it's like all of those stakes now no longer mattered,
Right,
you know?
because Darth Vader gave up his life to kill Palpatine and save Luke. Okay, well, if then he died in vain. Then
Yeah.
at that point, Darth Vader died in vain. And that's
Yeah.
so sad because he wanted to redeem himself. He wanted to be good for his son, and he died trying to redeem himself, and that's such a good ending to that trilogy, that he could come back from being so evil to trying to be there for his son and save his son. And yet now, because Palpatine was back, then that it just undoes it, and he died in vain, and there was no reason for him to have died at that point then, except that he did.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the same with Kylo Ren. There's no reason for him to have died, but they did. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, that didn't seem necessary.
I know people are going to say like, "Oh, he needed to die because what is he going to do? Live his whole life with the thought of how many people he killed?" I don't know. How many people has he killed? But really, there was no reason for it because he could have him and Ray fight so well together. They could have
Oh
been
yeah.
a contender. They killed them all.
They were a team.
They were a team. The only thing that I can think of that I would be like okay with is in like later on, if we find out like his force ghost like just like chills with her all the time. I'm fine with that.
Check out her
I'm
feet,
not
whatever.
like anything romantic, but like what if he's like as a force ghost, because force ghosts still retain a lot of their power, you know?
It's true.
So he would still help her using the force and giving, sharing his power and things like that, like they
Supplementing
do.
her. Yeah.
Exactly. And I guess that's fine. She's a Mary Sue, so she was born with all these powers. She had no formal training, no training altogether. When the first episode, she like kicks Kylo Ren's ass, basically.
Mm-hmm.
With she should not have been able to. She's a Mary Sue. So the fact that
Oh, I know.
she lived and he didn't, just kind of like, fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna get worked up.
All right, just take a deep breath. Now let's talk about some of the positives. There was good fan service.
It was.
Chewbacca got his medal. I mean, I
Finally.
freaking cried.
Did you cry?
I did.
Oh, I love that. He got his medal. Yes. I think they did so well with the fan service in those movies. They had so many just, little
Cameos.
details and cameos and Wedge. Yes.
That's exactly what I said when it showed him. I just went, Wedge.
Wedge. Yes, Wedge was in it. And that's my father's absolute favorite character in all of the Star Wars
because he's the best.
Movies is Wedge, because Wedge is the best. I agree. Wedge is pretty funny, and he's in. Oh, I love him. It's great.
So as far as the last three, you know, the ninth one had its moments. You didn't seem very satisfied with the eighth one. To me, it seemed like Last Jedi. It seemed like that one was just trying to undo everything they were setting up in Force Awakens. All of a sudden saying, yeah, all that stuff you thought we were going to do, we're not doing it.
Fuck you.
Yeah, like F you. Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right. Like, they were setting up so many different things that they're just like, nah, fuck it, never mind. No thanks. I think, yeah, it's just because I think because of the different directors that they had, like the first one, he did something. The second one, he was like, well, I think I want to go this way. And then the third one, in the third movie, he's like, nope, fuck you. I'm going to do it back my way. It's just like, oh
Going
my
back
God.
to the old way. Yeah.
Please be cohesive. Please. No. Okay. Cool beans.
Well, it's like, we're getting whiplash.
Yeah. Like I liked all those. I liked the movies. I really did. The last one, I liked it. I liked it fine. It just makes me mad. So I don't like take that with what you will, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. So you liked episode 7 the best, it sounds like. Force Awakens.
Yes, I liked The Force Awakens. I did.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of fanfare in there. I love BB-8. I think BB-8 is so cute. I have a BB-8 cat toy for my cat.
Aw.
Yeah. And then around that time also we got the Solo movie.
And Rogue One.
Yeah. Not a lot of people liked Solo. I loved Solo.
I thought Solo was a lot of fun.
So fun. Lando is all the tapes.
Oh, Lando was great.
Lando was fantastic.
Young Lando.
Amazing. Just amazing. He was so great. I liked that movie a lot.
Donald Glover.
I love Donald Glover. And like a lot of everything he's done, he's been brilliant in. So I thought he was great. Amelia Clark was great in it. I almost called her Khaleesi. Khaleesi was great in it.
I like how they showed Han and Chewbacca meeting. Like, that was cool.
I thought that was really cool. I agree. And like something like that is, it's fanfare, but I enjoy it. It's really interesting to me to see those little pieces come together. Little piece of the puzzles fall into place, you know?
Yeah.
I like Rogue One.
Rogue One was good.
It's good. It's a very well done movie. It makes me sad because it's not a happy ending. And I prefer my movies to have happy endings.
But it ends with hope.
Sure. Yes, it does.
Because it shows Princess Leia at the end.
It does. And it literally ends with hope.
I saw that in the theater within a few days after Carrie Fisher died. So that, of course, was another Jason cries at a Star Wars movie moment. Because there she is, like, reanimated right in front of me. Yeah. I was like, oh.
I like that Star Wars just brings out all of your emotions.
It does. It's weird. Well,
the soul movie.
It's one of those. It is, because I've just lived with it for so long. It's like I've grown up with it, you know. Yeah. Now, it's a part of me in that way.
How do you feel about The Mandalorian? Have you watched The Mandalorian?
I haven't seen that yet. No. I know I need to.
What are you doing? Watch The Mandalorian. This is the way.
Yeah, I'll watch it probably. You know, I'll get around to it.
Do you need my Disney Plus? I will give you my Disney Plus. Watch The Mandalorian.
No, I have Disney Plus. I just haven't had a lot of time to watch everything I want to watch. It sucks.
Okay, well, Baby Yoda is cute. And don't come at me, people. I know that it's Grogu, but it's Baby Yoda.
Grogu.
I have Grogu right up here. I got my Grogu.
Grogu.
Baby Yoda. So for those of you listening, I have a little Baby Yoda plush, sort of. I got him at the farmer's market. So he is handmade crocheted Baby Yoda. Ain't he
Now, did you
stinking
get
cute?
that before? Oh, very cute. Was that before they started putting out the merchandise and you had to buy like homemade stuff?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I didn't care. I thought he was so cute, so I bought him.
Yeah. Cuddly little fellow.
Yes, he is. I love him so much. He chills up there with all my. I have a whole large collection of Disney plushes. From when I worked at Disneyland, I would buy a lot of the plushes.
Oh, that's great.
Hangs out up there with all of them because technically he is a Disney character.
This is true.
It's true. This is the way.
You know, one thing I was going to mention about Rogue One, remember how they brought Grand Moff Tarkin back, like CGI?
Yes.
They made it look like Peter Cushing was still alive, even though he died in 1994.
Right.
What was funny is my son is into the Star Wars movies too, and he watched that when it came out, and however old he would have been then, like 15, he's like, I told him that they CGI'd that guy, and he's like, I thought that was a real actor. And I was like, that guy's been dead for 20 years.
They got his doppelganger.
But I was gonna piggyback this onto the Mandalorian spoilers. I know one thing I heard at the end of the last season was they brought back Luke and they CGI'd Mark Hamill to look young, which is pretty cool.
Actually, his scene is so dope. Like when he came on to the Mandalorian, like the first, spoiler alert, but the first thing you see is they're like in this really tight pinch. They're gonna die. There's just no way out of what they're in, right? The situation that they're in. And all of a sudden, through the window, you see one X-Wing fighter. And they go, why is there an X-Wing fighter? What's going on? How's one person going to help, right? And then all of a sudden you just hear like carnage because Luke is now there and Luke's gonna take care of everything because fucking Luke Skywalker. It's actually so, it makes me excited when he comes in because I like took videos of it and was sending it to my father because we know my father's not gonna figure out how to do Disney Plus to watch it unless I put it on for him. He thought it was really cool, but I'm like watching this and Luke is coming on and he's doing his Jedi magic. Badassery. Although that's a great movie too, The Knights of Badassery. No, Badassdom. That one's good too. Anyway, but how this man just like walks in and just destroys everything that these professional fighters can't even overcome. Like they had problems with one of these droids that they're fighting. Just one. They couldn't overcome it because it's like a special type of fighter droid. But then here comes Luke and he just like kills them all. Just destroys them all. Sweet. And like walks in and goes, oh yeah, I felt Grogu, so I'm gonna take the kid, okay? Thanks, bye. And then like just pieces out. Like that's basically what happens. And sorry, Jason, I did mention it was a spoiler. But
it's all good. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna give you any like tiny details because you have to watch it because it's so cool how his entrance into this. And then
I was gonna say there's precedent.
Like,
there's precedent from Last Skywalker because remember it shows that flashback where like Luke's helping train Leia with the Force training, and it shows them and they're CGI to look younger. So it wasn't too long after that. And it's taking place in like that post-Jedi timeline, right?
Yeah.
There is a lot that can be explored there. There's a lot ripe for exploration. And the rumor I keep hearing, and I just saw an article today, which I think I sent you, with Mark Hamill's blessing himself, he wants to see Sebastian Stan, aka Winter Soldier from the Marvel movies, play Luke Skywalker in a new show that would take place after Return of the Jedi. Yeah. And then they could get the guy who played Solo to play Han. You
I'm
know,
so
they'll
down
have to
for
figure
that.
out something with, they'll have to recast Leia. That would be so sweet. I want to see it happen.
They can cast Carrie Fisher's daughter as Leia.
Yes. Who I think they've used as a stand-in when they've CGI'd her face and stuff. They could definitely get her. Sebastian Stan, not only does he look like Mark Hamill, his voice even sounds like him. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. They need to do it.
I'm fine with this. I would watch this all day long. And the Mandalorian takes place like 5 years, I think.
Luke's age, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. 5 years after the original trilogy, but before the last 3 movies that came out.
Yep.
So it's in between there, but it's so cool.
I know. Yeah, I need to watch it.
And then
we can, of course, discuss that. Yeah. We could discuss that in a future episode once I get around to
it. Yeah, I think you should. I think once you watch it, we should really get in depth about it because I have thoughts.
Yes.
I have lots of thoughts.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to discuss it. So, Zannah, anything else new in your nerdy world? Anything nerdy you've been doing? Anything fun? One nerdy thing I did last week.
What's that?
I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max.
I heard that you did that. I don't have HBO, so I can't watch it, but I really want to. I heard it's amazing.
I can give you my information.
Okay.
Check it out. It's great. I mean, it's definitely an improvement on what they released. It's a more cohesive movie. Beautiful to look at.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when it's 4 hours long. It becomes more cohesive. I would rather sit in a well done 4 to 6 hour movie than in like a crappy cut up version that's only like an hour and a half long.
2 hours. Yeah.
Whatever. Give me all of those long movies. Like, I am one of those I'm one of those people that I will sit and watch all of Lord of the Rings. I will sit and watch all the Harry Potter movies. One of my favorite movies growing up, I have two, and they're mini-series, but I would sit down and watch them as movies, and that was the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, which was forever long, and the other one was the 10th Kingdom, also forever long. It's like a 9-hour movie if you watch it as a movie, which I do.
Yeah.
Like,
so you can handle 4 hours.
Nothing. Like it's nothing. Yeah. I prefer to have a cohesive story. I need it all. I need all the information. I need all the details than, just getting chopped up bits of it.
Yes. Yeah, definitely check it out
today.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. I mean,
I feel
it'll be right up your alley.
Yeah. I feel like really aggressive. Like, this is but no, it does sound like it's be right up my alley. I liked the Justice League when it came out. I liked it fine. Maybe not Amber Heard. Hate her. But I enjoyed it, and I really want to see the Adam Snyder version. I think it looks really good.
I think Ben Affleck really shines in it. Like him as Batman.
Batfleck.
I think he did
Batfleck.
Yeah. Batfleck was great, I think. Oh, and there's a cool scene where Alfred meets Superman at one point that wasn't in the original. That's a really fun part. There's a lot of good little details. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ezra Miller. I think that's the name. Ezra Miller as the Flash. Miller? I like him as the Flash. I think he's hilarious as the Flash.
You get more of that. And you get more backstory for Cyborg. Like his role is expanded, so he's good too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I felt like his role was very small compared to everybody else.
It was chopped up. Yeah.
See, that's what happens. You chop it up. You lose pieces, but no, that's great. I'm excited to watch it one day.
Download the app and I'll help you out.
Wink. Cool, thanks. Anybody else, if you have anything that we should watch, any recommendations for Jason and I to watch and talk about? It could be Star Wars, anything with Star Wars, anything with Justice League, DC, Marvel. Let us know down below. Leave a comment, any questions you have for us, that'd be cool. Like, subscribe, punch that notification bell, we like it. Maybe just me. Maybe I'm just more excited about it than Jason.
No, I like it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave comments, recommendations. Let us know what you're thinking. We'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, we're here.
Yeah, we're here. We're here every Sunday just for you. Or just for us, because we like to hang out.
We do.
And soon, we get to hang out together. The vaccines are coming out. I'm so excited.
Yes, and we're gonna watch movies. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, finally, my movie buddy.
That's right.
We
We're
get to
back.
watch movies again. We're back. Yes.
We need to go see Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes, we do. That looks so good. Yes, absolutely, we do.
I want to.
Then we have to tell Mark about it because our friend Mark loves Godzilla. Hi, Mark.
Yeah, Mark, if you're listening, hello.
We're gonna go see it.
Huge Godzilla fan. Yeah.
He is. Mark's pretty cool. Yes. So we will go see Godzilla versus Kong because that looks so good. Absolutely.
And we'll of course talk about it on here whenever that next episode comes up after.
Yes, it'd be so much fun. I'm really excited. But yeah, so I guess there's only one more thing. Jason?
Yeah, what's that?
Am I a nerd?
Not quite yet, young Padawan, but give it time. You'll get there. Wink.
I don't know. I'm kind of opinionated about Star Wars. Maybe I'm a little bit of a Star Wars nerd.
I think you might have me beat in this category. And remember, folks, that's what we said in the first episode. It's nerd initiation. I'm initiating Zannah, but sometimes she's going to initiate me. So
that's right.
That's what we do around here. We like to keep it interesting.
We like to keep that.
And we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you next week. Yeah. New episode. We might be having a special guest on next week. So Be sure to tune in and listen. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we plan on having more special guests come on and, put their 2 cents into our 2 cents, and maybe we'll
get 4 cents.
I was gonna say maybe we'll end up with a nickel here and there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All done.
All right. And remember to
nerd your
heart out.